Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to run the combining maths script, because with this data set each subject has more than one data file, and so in order to analyze things in the PTB in the most efficient way, it's best to combine the pre-processed data files for each subject into one .mat file. So I've opened up the combining maths file and I've already changed the report names as well as the paths. And so now when I run this top section, here it has found the .mat pre-processed files. And so the first thing is I'm going to run this one section to set up the subnames. Because what this is going to do is it's going to create a variable called subnames unique, which has each unique subname. So it's getting rid of the ending piece. If it doesn't do this successfully, you would do that here. So first it creates all this, it goes through one subname. So if we run ri equals 1, and then we do this, current subname is this. So that's the first file it found. And then you're going to want on the end, you're going to want this to equal the name, just the unique part of the name. Really, it could just do this. But all I'm doing is I'm lopping off, because this is a range from the first character all the way to the end -2. So the end -2 is going to lop off these two characters. So then when I run this, as you can see, it's lopped off that. And so this is one unique participant identifier. So this is just a cell array of all those. So we have 8 subjects. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it for the first participant. So UI equals 1. And then I'm going to try and run this. And it should build an ERP big. Excuse me. So ERP big should be a structure which is the size of how many data sets. So it should be, so there's 2 data sets. Now, if this doesn't work, it's this line 33, that you'll have to adjust. So this is an if statement, which is doing a string compare, and it's going to compare these 2 strings. So again, the current subname, and again, this is the important part, the end -2, and it's going to compare it to the subname unique. So you probably will have to adjust this, the current subname, to apply to your specific data file naming scheme. So you want this string compare to work, because what it's going to do is it's going to go through each unique subname first in the first for loop. The second for loop is going to go through all the file names. And if the unique part of the file name matches the subname's unique participant that this for loop is on, then it's going to load it into ERP big. And then once it's gone through all the files, it will combine it here. So now that this has worked, you can go down to Combine Files. And this Combine Files ERP Big will create an ERP variable. So ERP Big, if you open this, you see there's just two structures in here, both of which are PTB format. So it's an ERP dot data, ERP dot whatever. And so the combine file is going to combine these two into just one ERP structure, which has all the stuff. And then it will save that. And again, you might want to change exactly the naming convention of what you want it to be named as. But this is just going to name it as the unique subname. And again, I'll want to change this to be S. All right, so now when I run this whole script, Huh. 100 cannot create because something doesn't exist. And this is in line 65, so what's it's trying to do? Oh, the folder does not exist. That's what's happening. So I'm just creating the combined files folder. mkdir is make directory, and then -m is just setting the permissions for that folder. So now that folder is there. So when it actually tries to save it, it will work. So now when I run this whole thing, it's just going to go through each subname's unique, find all the files associated with it, and combine them, and then save it as a .mat into combined files. And so this will fill up with one file per subject. And then when it's done, it will create a report _combined, which is going to tell you how many sessions for that subject, and then whether session 1 or session 2 data file was there. So as we can see, for subject 9, it actually only found one data file. Session 1, there was no session 2 data file. And so I could go back and try and figure out where's that data file, and then rerun this script for that particular participant. So that would be, it would be here. I would just put in whatever the row number is. So for number 9, it would be 6. So I could just put in 6 here, once I've found that other data file, and then run the whole script, and it will just run that subject. And then at the end, you have your combined data files and your report telling you which ones are valid. All right.